Welcome back to another episode of the Organic Mindset Podcast. As always, we got some new knowledge on the way, new gems. So make sure you got your paper, your pen, all that. You're gonna definitely need it for this episode. And like I said, man, I always got some special guests on the show, man. But I got my boy on here this time, so I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Well, what's good, y'all? This your boy Rob. I'm sitting here tuned in with Justin. Organic Mindset.
Hey, yes, sir. That's how we been thinking for a long time.
Yeah, we finna go ahead and get into it right quick.
Whoa.
Now, we're gonna switch it up this time. I'm gonna ask you the question. We're gonna go ahead and put Mr. Williams in the hot chair today.
Sheesh. What you got for me?
So first thing, what college did you attend?
Northwestern State University.
Okay, that brings me straight to my question then. What made you choose a PWI over HBCU?
So, honestly, I always, heard HBCU and stuff like that, but never really understood what it truly was until I got to college. I mean, honestly, like as far as the PWI, I feel like that's not even like a word that really just gets, kind of like floated around a lot. I mean, I knew it, once I got there, but it wasn't like no immediate thing as far as like, dang, I'm a freshman, I go to a PWI. To me, it personally really didn't matter. I was looking at, a lot of things at the time, especially, like I say, coming fresh out of high school. I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, coming out of high school, this college, it's affordable. It's somewhere close to home, so, it's nothing for me to, make an hour trip to go back home. Had the major that I wanted, and as far as knowing people there, I really didn't know people there, thing like that. I was just looking at the convenience of being close to my people and just kind of like the college itself having what I wanted to do. So what made you choose HBCU?
Me personally, I wanted to get more attached to my roots. Coming from the high school we came from, they wouldn't teach us anything about our own roots.
Nah, for real.
Through it all, I think it was a pretty good experience.
Pretty good experience. And what college that was?
Grambling State University, GS.
Oh, man.
You. I thought you knew.
But yeah, man, like, I feel like, overall, like I say, I kind of got, a lot of good experiences from going, seeing as you as well. Like, of course, just the frat, the networking. And it's still people, that I talk to this day. I mean, I just graduated a year ago, but, it was people that I met from, freshman year that, I still, like, converse with and stuff like that. And, like, we recently, had homecoming, so it was good to kind of go back and see everybody. But it's just kind of like, like having those connections and making sure, you kind of like get that experience overall. Because honestly, I don't feel like, it matters like what college you go to, whether it be a HBCU or a PWI. Like, everybody has their own purpose. Like, yes, sir. That's going to hold a lot of weight for real. Yeah, that's going to hold a lot of weight. Not to knock anybody else,
Yeah, so I'm going to ask you this question. Did you practice any financial literacy before you went to school?
Before I went to school, I'll probably say not, if any, a very, very little. So little that I can't even remember.
So your high school didn't teach you anything about it?
Nah, not really. And I took like a accounting class, but I wouldn't even really kind of consider that, financial literacy. Like, granted, managing money is a part of it, but overall, like, as far as investing in things of that nature, wasn't, much of that taught at all.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about, man. These schools these days teaching these kids nothing. They just throw them out here in this world, man, get to college, get them loans, get to blowing it.
Yeah.
Man, I just wish they had a class, they need, this is a part, I think this should be a part.
The curriculum.
Of the curriculum, man. Because there's so many kids that go to college so lost, not knowing how to manage money, going out there taking out these big ass loans, not knowing it's going to affect you in the long run. I mean, I feel like they teach you everything else but the things you need to know.
Yeah, like I completely agree. And it's kind of crazy. Like, I feel like, now we kind of on a, not to say we weren't on a, internet-based kind of then, like when I graduated, when you graduated. But I feel like now you see more younger, like entrepreneurs or whatever, like heavily vested, in the stock market, heavily vested in Turo, which I previously talked about on the show anyway. It's just so many ways to kind of just, gain that wealth. But I, feel like overall, the hardest thing is really just maintaining it and kind of making that, a generational thing instead of just a one-time thing. Like, okay, well, I'm rich.
Did you have a job in high school before you went to college?
Oh yeah.
What you was doing there?
So when I had first started off, I started off as a dishwasher, and then I forgot how long I was there. I think I started in maybe like, I think it was my sophomore year going into my junior year, and I kind of like had my own reasons. My people didn't really force me to get a job or anything like that. It was just kind of like, okay, I got my first car, so I was like, I know I want to do things. I know I want to go places or whatever, and I don't want to have to like solely rely on my people, because that's kind of just like a burden, that's kind of held over your head in the sense. Not to say my people like that, but it's still just kind of like relying on somebody else. I'm like, if I can do it myself, why not? And it was convenient because I was making a grade, so it wasn't like it was a distraction. It was just a way to put money in my pocket.
And that helped you manage money when you got to college.
Mm-hmm. But of course, with college, more distractions come. I'm pretty sure you can relate.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of distractions.
Yeah, you just gotta.
A lot of them, but you gotta have that mindset, man.
Mm-hmm.
You go there without that mindset, you can get lost in the sauce real quick.
Yeah.
The parties get thrown at you, the females there.
Yeah.
It's all there, but when you go there with that mindset, you'll get through it all. And you can still have the females, the parties out there. Yep. That's the biggest thing. You gotta manage your time, man. A lot of people, they go out there, man. Yeah, they party, yeah, they lit every weekend. They lit throughout the whole week. Hey, now one of them sat down, look, man, let me go do this assignment online right quick. Do your assignment first and go out there and be lit.
Man, for real, like the parties and stuff, they gonna be there. And, like I say, sometimes I kind of had, like I say, I wasn't a perfect college student or nothing like that. Don't get me wrong, I graduated with, a decent GPA. I'm downplaying myself. I graduated with a good GPA, but overall, like I said, it wasn't no, overnight thing or whatever. It ain't like your GPA restart every year or something like that. That's, your overall GPA. So you maintaining that from freshman year. And I know, like, just off the strength of people I knew, they were pretty much just kind of like crashing out, like that, first year or whatever.
Because a lot of jobs, when they look at your degree, they also looking at your GPA from your transcript too.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people don't know that. So this brings me to my next question. Do jobs rely more on a degree or experience?
From my personal experience, I feel like it's really like a mix of both, because I've been at places where I feel like they rely more on experience, and I feel like I've been some places where they kind of like rely on that degree, because I feel like coming up that was always kind of like a thing that I was hearing, like, yeah, it's important to get your education, because you can go to a job, somebody been there 10 years and you get the spot over them, or get promoted before they do, just because you had that experience. But now it's like you really have to be realistic with yourself and kind of like see what people really teach you in the classroom. It's kind of like, even with my major and stuff like that, with business, I felt like I learned way more stuff over a year span actually on the job compared to what I learned in the classroom in 4 years.
Right. See, me personally, I done took an L on both of them. Like, one job I applied for, I had a degree. My bad, I had a degree. I got turned down because I was overqualified. One job I applied for, I had a degree in the field, but I got turned down because I had no experience. So, a message to y'all. While you in college, please get that internship. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't take an internship. Yeah. And I regret it every day since I graduated, man. You got to get that internship to get the exposure you need to have the experience and the background to whatever field you're going in.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And like, I was pretty much, on the other side of the fence. I had the, experience of like having an intern, and as I stated on one of the previous episodes, I pretty much had got, hired on full time, and I, currently still work with that job. So, getting that intern was a great experience, and it was kind of like one of those things where it almost like came to me, and it's kind of like, that made me go back and think like, if it's meant for you, it's really gonna come to you, like regardless. Like, not saying you don't have to put in the effort or put in the work, because like I said, my grades were good, and I took that extra step to apply, and I didn't even know if I really just kind of like qualified for the for the internship, but it pretty much like something came from it. It was a little hard. It was a big transition because I pretty much was going from being in school, working a part-time job during school to working full-time for summer and almost kind of like dreading the summer. I was happy about the money and the pay, but at the end of the day, you know, that's not everything. So it was kind of like just taking up a lot of my time, but kind of like being in the work environment we're in now compared to then, it kind of makes me miss that because it's like, you know, less was expected from you. And we pretty much just kind of had more freedom. You know, of course, COVID, you know, has a lot to do with it, but it's like we're working from home now, so it's like a just completely different experience.
Right. Another question, since you brought up COVID, how was it graduating during the pandemic?
So, personally, for me, it was a little different. Like, you know, I kind of felt, I don't know, I really kind of like felt on the edge. It was a year ago, but I was like, dang, it kind of almost made me feel like I didn't graduate. Like, I was happy to get the paper, don't get me wrong, but I was like, dang, like, you know, we had like a little online ceremony, but that was it.
You didn't get to see you up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I graduated during the pandemic too. At first, I was like, shit, I done worked this far. I got the degree. I ain't worried about, you know, in my school, they pushed graduation damn near a year later. So, you know, by then, I'm in the world. I'm
Over
working,
it.
and I'm not even
Over it.
thinking about it no more. But, you know, I wish I would have walked some just so my mom could see how there I walked. Then again, she was just proud of me that I got the paper. So, you know.
Yeah.
So let's get into investing. So do you think investing has changed from your parents back in the day until now?
I feel like, you know, a lot, and that kind of goes back to what I said earlier about, you know, just having like social media base. It's kind of like with that, you know, social media base, it's kind of like a lot of influencers on there, and with those influencers, they just kind of show you different opportunities as far as investment, you know, as far as real estate and stuff like that. Like, I feel like with our parents or grandparents, it was kind of like they were still, I guess you'll say, vested in real estate as far as like on a land aspect, but it wasn't like they were just sitting there going in. Because I know a lot of older, you know, particularly black people, a lot of older black people that are, you know, landlords and stuff like that, which meant, you know, some kind of way they acquired this property and now they, you know, lease it out or rent it out to tenants. But I feel like as far as like the stock market and stuff like that, my people really weren't on it heavy. It's kind of like, you know, looking at it now, just even kind of, you know, having conversations with them and stuff like that, they were kind of under the mindset like, yeah, you have to, you know, pretty much work for somebody, you know, save your money, this, that, and the other, instead of, yeah, invest your money into this, you know, it can grow over time, you know, equity, interest, blah, blah, blah. So I definitely feel like, you know, it's changed now because there's some people, like I say, pretty much just making a living just strictly off investing, you know, regardless of what vehicle they're using, whether it be, you know, real estate or stocks, is, you know, so many different ways, so many different things that they could do.
Right, because, you know, back in the day, all they knew was to save.
Yeah.
Little did they know, by your money just sitting there, it's not gaining no interest. You're not investing into anything. So, you know, it's like your money just to sit there. It just sit there. Because if you don't add any money to it, it'll stay the same. If you go in a hard time, you start subtracting, money start getting low, you know.
Yeah.
That's why they say it's good to save. Don't get me wrong, it's good to save. But have your savings and have your investment account. That way, you know you got this money for hard time. That way, you know you got this money making you money. And see, a lot of us in our generation, we weren't taught all this.
Nope.
You know, it was always about saving. When you work, you got to put something up in your check and all that. Now, when I work to make a check, each week, I try to put something. If it ain't nothing but $40, I'm trying to invest in something.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that's big now is crypto.
Yeah.
You know, I invest a little crypto every check. Right?
Yeah, nah, that's facts. But I got a question for you real quick though.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, yes sir. And it's evolving around it. So how important do you feel it is to start a life insurance policy or have life insurance? How do you feel like that's something important?
I feel like it's very important because nowadays life insurance policies have changed a whole lot. It's almost an investment too.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can borrow out the money, your money gain interest, and then it's also good so the people won't be out here setting a barbecue place, man. fish plates, all that, Help them out, man, because sometimes it get hard. You leave a lot of burden on your people. So
Yeah, nah.
it's already hard that you gone, then leave all these bills. You got kids, man. You got to look out for your kids. Life insurance policy might save their life,
Yeah.
You got your good old policy. Might help them start a business, something,
Yeah, and
So it's really something that everybody should look into, man. It's not that high. You find your insurance policy that fits in your budget.
yeah, that's true for real. Like, and that was kind of, I guess, my biggest reason, talking about it, because like I say, it kind of did evolve around that same universe. But it's kind of like, within the community, I know so many people that end up, passing, and they ended up not having the money when their parents or, whoever their loved one was that passed, they were working the whole time, had the opportunity to get, life insurance, but just didn't know about it. And I know, like, personally for my people, they have, like just multiple life insurance policies, just because, like he said, it is a, big burden on your family. And you could be looking at a couple thousand, mandatory, like I want to say on the cheaper side, maybe 3 to 5. Like I never really been, heavily involved in it, just like setting up, that type of thing or whatever. But just off of like conversations and stuff, 3 to 5 is like a low end, But don't get me wrong though, you have to be smart about that too, because like I have conversations with people, and particularly my people, and they just like, of course, want something nice, but don't go put all the money in the hole, because all you're doing is getting the.
That's the problem, man. People get money and just spend it on one thing, man.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What was one of the craziest things that you spent money on?
Craziest thing I spent money on.
That you felt like you needed?
OnlyFans subscription. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Oh
yeah,
man.
Spend a lot of money on that, they low-key entrepreneurs.
Yeah, gotta get it in. But I'll probably say shoes. Shoes.
But a lot of things that people don't know, shoes is a good investment.
Yeah.
Like I actually own a few dead stocks. But people don't really understand that shoes hold value.
That's true.
Especially rare shoes. I have probably I don't have many, I probably have like 2 or 3 pair of rare shoes. It's always good to have, because you never know when hard times come up. They got GOAT now.
Yeah.
StockX, all that, you can make money, man. There's different ways to make money out here, man.
Yeah. So like what kind of what are these shoes that you referring to? Because I actually sold some shoes before, but what are these you referring to?
Let me see. I actually still have my Concourse dead stock. I have my Flu Games dead stock.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see, man, because I got a lot of shoes that I wear daily. I'm trying to see. I think those are the only 2 pairs I still have dead stock. And the Flu Game 12s, they still in the high demand. Yeah,
nah, for real. I low-key been trying to get hands on them, but like I said, I kind of cut back on, like when I first started working and I had first moved, I was like buying shoes like at least probably like 2 or 3, pair a month. And now I'm just kind of like looking at the shoes. Don't get me wrong, it was a short-lived, lifespan for it. After I did it for a couple months, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm spending too much on shoes. And it was stuff that I wasn't even like, I guess you would say, it just looked good for the time being. When I got them, of course, I opened the box, I'm like, dang, they still look good, but.
After a couple wears, it's on to the next one,
Yeah. Nah, that's true.
So another thing, do you think cars are a good investment?
Most definitely, yeah, most definitely. Like people, just like you said about shoes, like a lot of cars, hold their value as well. Like, and people think that they don't, but when of course, I guess when you get to talking about some newer cars, they don't. But when you get to talking about like a lot of older cars and stuff, they really, hold a lot of value. Sometimes worth more than, newer cars.
Right, when you put the money into it.
Oh yeah.
So what kind of car do you drive?
Like I had said on one of the previous episodes, I drive a Maserati.
Ooh, Mazda.
So yeah, tell the people what you drive.
I don't drive a Mazda, but SRT beat up the street.
Do you feel like your car is a good investment, and why?
To me, when I bought the car, I felt like it was a good investment, only because of the way I went about buying it. Okay, so me personally, some people when they got the cash, they want to go flaunt the cash, go drop a bag, how they say it on the car.
Yeah.
So, me, when I sat down and talked to my banker, she told me, why would you go spend all your money on this car when you can put half of it down and borrow the other half with your own money? That way each month you paying your money back. So it's like you're not losing at all, because in 5 years you will have your money back plus interest. So I felt like, yeah, it was a good investment. I feel like I'm not losing, because as the months go along, I'm gaining all the money back.
Yeah.
So I had my car 2 years, so about 3 more years, I have all my money back. And it feel like I'll be starting at square one. And I feel like that'll be a good investment, because if I decide to sell the car, I'm up, because I got the money back, I can pay for the car. Then I go sell the car, I'm up on how much of amount that I sold the car for. So to me, yeah, I feel like it was a good investment for me.
So can you give the people, I guess, additional insight, on, I guess, the specifics of it? You say, you pretty much get your money back. So during this time when you repaying, like for your car or whatever, is this money that you could physically touch, or is it just?
Yeah, it's something you physically touch, because as you paying monthly, the money is coming available to you. So each month, for example, I ain't gonna put y'all too much in my business. Let's just say $200. So each month I pay $200. They gonna knock the interest off first. So you probably get $160 come available each month. And also what's included is interest on yourself. So like me personally, I have it's low, but about a 3.5% interest rate on my own money. It's something, man.
Yeah. That's really not bad. Like, so how did you go about, besides talking to your banker, how did you, kind of like go about it, just for a start off?
Like for a start off, I was thinking like, yeah, I'm finna go withdraw all this money out the bank, finna go buy this car cash,
Yeah.
And I thought about it, as she really talked to me, I'm just glad that she really talked to me, because I could be dealing with the situation I'm dealing with my car right now. I could possibly be out of money, because that also helped me to repair my car, because when they told me my camshaft and my lifters failed, let's dig into the pockets. So I had to think about it. I got this savings account where I'm paying each month. My money is building up. When checking, because I try to just pay it and not check it. So like some said, go check it. So I went and I had more than enough money to get my car fixed. So that way it really didn't feel like a loss to me, because it's the money that I had already spent, not knowing that I'm getting that money back. So I feel like a lot of people don't tell people this, man. Before you go cash out on a car, borrow against your own money. You paying the money back. Even if time is hard, you can say, for instance, I go pay the $200 today. I can go back to the bank and get it if I need it. It's still your money, and you make an interest off your own money.
So it's like pretty much like a revolving line of credit, like. And it was crazy, like, every time we talk, well, not every time, but, majority of the time we talked about this topic at least 3-4 times, because it's just like I'm so intrigued by it. It was something, that I didn't know. This was my first time ever hearing about it. But it sounded kind of similar to the certificate of deposit that I had, like in my, after I had graduated. Like I said, I talked about that on one of the episodes, but pretty much I just, put the money in there. I think it was only like maybe it had a $500 minimum. Put the $500 in there, then you borrow against it. The only thing with that is, you paying it back. So it's kind of like I said, revolving line of credit. You can constantly use the money over and over again, and your interest steady building up. But with this one, it was like a deadline, like you had to pay your money back, within your time period, like which was, so for you it'd be, your 5 years or whatever, but you have to pay your car off. But with this one, you had to pay all the money back within 4 years, but you could still borrow from it as much as you wanted to, as long as you paid it back,
Another good thing, I still have my own title, no liens, no nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good too. So just in case time, times get hard, man. People sit around here and fake like time don't get hard, but you never know.
Hey.
Always build up your assets, man. You never know. I can go right now, sell my car, and it can put me in a whole totally different position than what I was.
Yeah. That's true. And kind of to, rewind on something that we kind of like, I felt like we kind of got off quickly earlier. With stocks and stuff like that, you had pretty much kind of like really put me onto the, Robinhood app a couple years ago, or however long ago that was. And if I'm not mistaken, we had a conversation. Didn't you purchase some AMC stock like early on?
Yeah, I jumped to AMC back when it was $7 and about 97 cents per share.
Yeah.
AMC, it was on the climbing level at first, man. Everybody talking about AMC. So I'm just so lucky that I jumped in early. I eventually ended up selling. I left a few in. AMC is kind of fluctuating, man.
Yeah.
It had got all the way up to $70-something per share. Now it's back down to $37 per share. I still have a couple shares in there. I'm just trying to sit and see will it climb back up again.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are some of the stocks that you gonna invest in?
So as you kind of talked about, honestly, I'm still like I'm more so kind of like in the crypto wave now. I kind of like.
Right, I'm jumping on that too.
Yeah, really, it's necessary. Like I really had diversified my portfolio though. At first, I had just a bunch of kind of BS that I thought, was good at the time being. And I was just kind of like, man, why is my account like so negative? And I had like grew my account, I want to say like maybe $1,000, within like a few weeks after I had kind of like diversified my portfolio and kind of just, switched it up towards things that I was actually like doing my studies on and things that were paying dividends because, that's important too. Like,
man, research, man.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people go out based on he say, she say, man, go out there and do your own research.
Yeah.
Because before AMC was popping, I did my own research.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to ask you. How did you come across AMC? I know it was probably like one of those things that was kind of like, people were talking about a little bit, but not.
What I tend to do, I just be on the app like looking at different stocks. I was looking at it and like, I seen that it was up that day. When I bought it, it was at like $7 per share. I seen it was already up that day 20%. It made me look more into it. And then I was looking at all different ratios and I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna invest into this stock.
Yeah.
So at the end, man, it came out good for me. I wanted to hold long, there was a lot of talk about hold. But it's all about what you're comfortable with. Like I feel like once it got to 70, I want to say it was 71. It was somewhere close around that range. Once it got there, like it put me up where like, okay, now I can diversify my portfolio.
Yeah.
So I took that money, took some out, and started investing in a little small thing. Then I started getting into crypto. Right now, Shiba is big.
Yeah.
Sable big.
Yeah.
A crypto I wish we all would have got into back in the day, man. That damn Bitcoin, man.
Man.
It's over $60,000 per share.
Yeah.
And see, they didn't teach us this in school, Back in school, they would have taught us, we could have looked into it. But, they don't teach you nothing about investing your own money. The only thing they teach you in school is how you gonna spend it.
Yeah, how you gonna spend it like 2 Chainz say. But it's all good though. Like, I don't know, man. Like I say, everybody had their own little practices and stuff like that. Like when I had first, because I pretty much, like I say, tried a lot of stuff, just as far as different ways to invest my money, But as far as like stocks and things of that nature, I always kind of had like a solid ground rule as far as like, okay, I'm not going to buy off impulse. I'm not going to buy off of trend, as far, because I'm in a lot of, groups and things like that. And they always talk about, this would be a good investment.
Yeah, not to cut you off, but I just want to give a major shout out to Financial Insight, man.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
I feel like that's a good group on Facebook, man.
Oh, yeah.
They give you more details. Instead of telling you go buy this, they actually break it down, show you reasons why. The pros and the cons.
Get into the Discord, man, so you can get the alerts, man. Get into the Discord.
Look it up on Facebook, Financial Insight.
I'm telling you, most deaf. That, like, and it's crazy. Like I say, it's so many people, it's like you pretty much just have to invest in your stuff. Like people see these discards and they like, yeah, I don't want to pay such and such, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's highly worth it because it's like if you see how much money you will make. Of course, some stocks are long term. Some are just pretty much just buy and get rid of. It's all about your personal views or whatever. Just like how you were talking about with AMC. I know a lot of people, like how you said you held some. It's a lot of people that just strictly whenever they seen it go to 70 whatever cent, they just got rid of all of it. And even like with Dogecoin, it was kind of the same thing. I'm still holding on to some Dogecoin.
Yeah, I forgot to mention. Yeah, I was in Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Too. When it got to, I'm not gonna lie, that's probably the first stop. Like when it got to like 75 cents.
Somebody was telling me that the other day, and I had to go back and look at the chart. I remember 69. That was
69, 70. Yeah. I ended up selling all my Dogecoin, man.
Yeah.
Me personally, I feel like
it didn't have a chance.
But now me looking more into it, like it's
just the potential.
It's trying to make a little jump again,
Yeah.
Everybody was pushing for that dollar, man.
And that's what I was pushing for.
That was gonna be big.
Yeah.
Dollar.
And I still feel like kind of some of the other things we talked about as far as, Shiba, Safe Moon, them also things that I've been kind of holding on to for, several months. But with Dogecoin, like I said, it was a different experience for me because I had just bought something off the strength of like just really kind of clowning around. I seen it one day and I bought some, and I had bought some like last year, but I only put like $20 into it. But my practice as far as like crypto was, whenever you feel like it's at a good range or whatever, take your initial investment out, because that's pretty much the situation I'm sitting at with Dogecoin. Like last time I had checked, I was still up like maybe $1,100 or $1,200, and I had been constantly pulling money out of it, putting it towards other things.
I already took your investment out.
Yeah.
The money you made off there, you making money off that.
And all I put in was maybe like $200,
right.
And that was over a period of time. Like I said, I had still caught it when it was early. I think my overall average balance or average amount that I put in, I want to say it was like 0.003, so it wasn't even like like a full 3 cent yet. But like I said, they just kind of like go to show you, sometimes you just got to do your own research and just kind of like look into it. And I mean, like it's gonna be new things out there every day, every week, every month. So don't harp so much on not being able to catch on to this. That just means you gotta lock in and do your research so you can, have that, possibility. Because I was seeing like how they was talking about Shiba. I think they said last year, what it was, 400 days ago, was 400 like maybe 10 days. I seen this the other day when they first started, buzzing again, how they were talking about us. Somebody put in 8,000 and they ended up having like, it was either 5.3 million, 5.3 billion or 2.3 billion.
Right, because I think she was from about 4 or 5 years ago, when it first started. I think now it's up. I don't want to say the wrong number, but I was researching. I think it's either up 9 million% or 95 million%.
And that's crazy. Like a lot of times with these, like with crypto though, you have to really look at the quantity. And if you go to like Bitmart or anything like that, it'll tell you how much is available. Right. So you already know, just like anything else, it's pretty much supply and demand. Right. It's just like with shoes. If you got a lot of shoes, it's really hard for you to say that you want to sell them for this high price compared to this. Just like a lot of shoes that resell now, how you said it was a business, and that's not even to get off topic. It's just to compare the two. Right. It's just like with dunks and stuff like that, how they just start.
Oh, man, I don't know. So I'm just gonna say this, man. To all y'all, they used to talk about me, but wearing dunks in elementary, talking about they fake forces. Look at y'all now, man. That's all I'm saying.
Going crazy. But yeah, though, like it's crazy. Like it's almost like one of those things. And that's what had kind of made me start looking at Safe Moon and Shiba, because I was kind of having doubt in Shiba, but I had still bought some, and I was just like, let me see what they do. And like I said, right now, I'm up a decent amount, enough to really cash out. But like I said, I'm gonna ride the wave or whatever. I've been seeing a lot of posts saying HODL, but what I'm saying, I don't. Hey, facts. That's all you could do, man. That's all you could do.
Man. So what you know about options?
Options. I'm not really too too vested in options. I mean, like I said, I watched a couple of videos.
That's something I'm trying to get into, man.
I feel like a lot of people really,
People come up daily off options. Man.
Yeah.
I just want to get a good background on it before I start actually doing it.
Yeah.
I want to go start doing it, and I end up losing out on a lot of money because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. And I've been seeing like, they do like, limit orders and stuff like that. So I feel like it's a, I'm not even gonna say it's a lot to it. It's a little to it, but I feel like at the end of the day, once you grasp the concept of it, then it's, just as easy as going to invest. But, you always have to have like a rule in play. And my initial rule was, I was like, okay, my threshold for a loss is if I'm down more than like 15 to 20%, then I'm gonna get rid of it. Which obviously I didn't abide by, because I mean, if y'all look at like, if you look at my Robinhood account right now, I got like multiple things. SOS, that's what I'm calling for. That's one of my stocks that's so down, like, man, like, but
It might catch that wave again,
it's gonna have to, but I think I just bought too high. But that was, before I just really was doing my research and I didn't get off it fast enough. But as far as like a profit, unless it's something that I'm just 100% positive is just gonna keep growing, I'll probably say 30%. 30% be my cash out.
with them long-term investments, they gonna fluctuate.
Yeah.
That's why the biggest thing is hold it.
Yeah, that's true. And it's a lot, like, it's really a lot to do on Robinhood. Like, some days I just get on the app and just kind of like play around. But I had seen there was a lot of, REITs on there too. I had actually invested in I put some money out of Dogecoin like probably about 2 months ago and invested it in a apartment REIT. But, that was on Robinhood as well. But I want to say it was like maybe 150, which was 150. So it was $150 per share or something like that. But it was kind of like on a constant rise. And then when you go look at REITs, it'll tell you like the average, pretty much what kind of interest you could look to gain. And I want to say it was between like 9 to 12%, on an annual basis. And it was like a, climbing hill. So it's like it's steady going up. But that is, one of them long-term holes. There's nothing that you're going to get rid of tomorrow.
Another investment, since we're talking about apartments, you ever thought about getting the Airbnb?
Yeah, so I thought about that. And it's crazy that you, mentioned Airbnb because, of course, like I said, I had my mom on the episode and she was talking about, being a realtor and stuff like that. But one of her clients, they ended up pretty much getting an Airbnb, and it was like a commercial Airbnb. So it's like they rented it out for a period of time. I want to say they rented it out for maybe like 3 months, and they made like $50,000 because it's occupied, that whole time. So
I feel that's a good investment. That's something else I'm looking forward to investing in.
Yeah, like, and it's so many ways of doing it, like different, getting different lenders and stuff like that, and just kind of like knowing your situation, like, and I always kind of talk about house hacking, wanting, that to be my first, I guess, step in like investing in real estate, just because I feel like it could be so beneficial. Then you taking out, a FHA loan, so it's like a low interest rate. You only have to stay there for 1 year, then you can move out. You just, keep going. But it's like pretty much just sacrificing that comfort. But that's part of it, though, delayed gratification.
A lot of people, man, you gotta understand it takes time. With anything you invest in, it takes time. I mean, sometimes you can get lucky on these stocks, boom, off the gate. Sometimes it just take time. That's with any investment.
Yeah.
Houses, what say, like Airbnb. Just take time, man.
Yeah. You ever looked into like liens and stuff like that, as far as like,
Nah, I don't have too much knowledge on these.
So
like I want to get into what you call it?
what, real estate?
Yeah, real estate. I'm tripping, man. I want to get into real estate. But, I just haven't focused on real estate. I'm more into investing in stocks, cryptos,
ETFs. Yeah, most definitely. Like with liens, I felt like that was gonna be my initial thing, but then when I kind of start looking at house hacking, I just felt like it was a more secure way to invest in real estate. And like I say, not to say it's not risk associated with it, because you could be one of those individuals that ended up pretty much like investing and not getting any tenants in there, or you end up getting the wrong property. But like I say, from my knowledge, I kind of read where people make something out of nothing. They end up, starting an Airbnb out of that personal house that they live in. And I actually,
That's coming big, man. Like people
yeah,
ain't getting into hotels no more. Like Airbnb is popping right now, man.
yeah. But I will say this though, and that's not to knock Airbnb or anything like that. But I kind of have seen, because I feel like I had kind of, I won't say hopped on the wave like earlier, but in a sense, that's pretty much what it was. So when a lot of people really wasn't using Airbnb, I felt like I was using it, and I was seeing like a significant difference in prices, for pretty much your own place. Like I was at a point where I would choose, and I had, don't get me wrong, I had a Hilton points, I had a, Marriott status, this, that, and the other. But even with those benefits, they, couldn't really mess with Airbnb because it was a significant price, and that was with like cleaning, it's a lot of stuff like cleaning fees and all that.
People, man, like it's
Yeah.
actually cheaper. You can get you 4-5 bedroom house would pay like what, maybe like $200 some per night.
Yeah.
And if it's 5 of y'all, you split it
that
five
up.
ways. Good way to save money too.
And that was actually, what I had did for my birthday last year. Like, me and two of my homeboys, we had went to, Houston, and we ended up getting an Airbnb, and it was like a 3-bedroom. So we all had our own room. It had a pool, had, all your other little amenities and stuff like that. So we ended up not paying that much at all. And like I said, it was, just a cool little vibe, just something, I guess, saying that make your trips feel more homey compared to a hotel. But it is a lot of different things as far as like, it's more rules associated with an Airbnb compared to a hotel. Hotel, you could, leave them a trash that, so you can only have so many guests there. Checkout pretty much be the same time around 11 or noon.
So with the cleaning fee, so what if you clean your own shit back up?
You still got to pay that fee.
Oh, yeah,
And why it's a mandatory fee. And like I say, lately, because I do it on every trip or whatever, and make sure you listening clear for this one. An app that you need to utilize, Hopper. So
yeah, I've been looking into that too.
yeah, and what I like about Hopper is, because I even had to go fact check them. I was like, okay, they giving me all these other prices for all these other places, but is that the real price? So I went to the other sites or whatever, Expedia or whatever, Marriott, Hilton.
Expedia. Oh,
Yeah, I like Expedia, hotels.com.
yeah.
But, I went on there and kind of fact checked them, and like I say, Hopper ended up actually being cheaper. And then it's just kind of like in the other one, you pretty much still gaining like points from it or, whatever else it may be. So it's really, like I say, a big positive. You just got to look around and kind of know what you're doing. Like I say, because Airbnb is starting to be the same price as the hotels now.
Right, because it's getting popular now,
Yeah, and I feel like, it kind of depends on the area and the time span too, because I have found some nice stuff, as far as like having the entire place to yourself. But that'd be my biggest thing. I don't just be wanting to share, because I feel like I'm at this point in my life now where I shouldn't have to stay in the house with somebody I don't know. Right. But I did it before though. I did it before.
You're kind of weird in there,
Yeah.
You in there with, man.
Yeah. Facts. Lock the door when you go to sleep at night. Facts. That's what I had to do.
So that bathroom door locked too.
Man, look around for cameras in that thing, for real.
Some weird ass people in the world now, man.
Yeah, nah, for real. But I don't know though, man. Like I say, so what? Like you ever, really kind of like stayed in Airbnb?
No, but I have looked into a lot of them, but I end up doing the traditional way, nice hotel. I stay more at the Hilton and Marriott. Also I stay in the Holiday Inn Express. They got some nice rooms too.
Hey, nah, for real. Hey, when I was working my intern, it had this one Holiday Inn that was like downtown, and it wasn't like no fancy downtown. In my opinion, especially the area and stuff, because somebody had just got shot in the drive-thru around the corner at McDonald's. But it was, to me, like I say, it was nicer, and like it's just kind of like, I feel like a lot of times, like, people, downplay it or whatever just because, I guess, the name and stuff like that. But
shit, they ain't cheap though.
They the same price as everything.
$7 a night,
Yeah.
I actually stayed in Holiday Inn Express downtown in New Orleans.
Yeah.
That was kind of like one of my favorites.
Yeah, like, see, I haven't personally stayed at that one. Like, I like to, like I say, most of the time I like to stick with, Marriott or Hilton if I have, the choice or whatever. Like, preferably Marriott though, because every time I go there, I get the room upgrade. Yeah. And then it's just kind of like, just a different vibe or whatever.
Like the reward program really brings you into.
Oh yeah, and it is, it's a necessity pretty much to take advantage of all those, reward programs, because at the end of the day, you're gonna pay for the stuff anyway. So why not,
Get some extra with it, man.
Yeah, nah, why not utilize that. And another thing too, as far as like reward program, I think it's called I ain't gonna look at my phone, but I think it's called Get Upside, where you pretty much use it and you save like such and such per gallon or something like that.
Yeah.
So
You ever tried it out yet?
I got it. Yeah, I actually got it. I just couldn't remember the name of it. Some days I forget to use it, but
So how you go about using, like what you use?
So you'll put you put your cards on there, and I got like 3 cards I got on there. So you'll put your card on there, and then the only thing about it is, it's only like select gas stations. I think most of them like Shells and stuff like that. So it'll tell you like all the gas stations that they accepted that it's applicable at, and then it'll show you the gas prices and how much you'll save, per cent. And it's crazy. Like I said, I was using it for a couple of months or whatever, but I end up, I think, cashing out for maybe like $30 or whatever. That's not a full tank for me. It's like a half, but yeah, troubles. But I will say though, they got food on there too though. Yeah. My mama, they got Wendy's, so my mama was using it, and she ended up like numerous times cashed out. I want to say maybe like around 100 something, and that's because they give you like 30 cent back. You pretty much get like 30 cent back per dollar.
Really?
Yeah.
They do backpackers, all these restaurants I've been eating at, man.
Hey,
eat all that back.
Yeah, like I say, it's a lot of it's a lot of places on there though, so it's definitely an interesting app to check out. But before y'all just go sign up, make sure y'all hit me up so I can see y'all my referral code. I need some assistance.
So how you feel about me switching up on you today?
Man, the switch up wasn't, wasn't too bad. I mean, it was, in a different manner or whatever. It was in a different manner because I'm used to people, getting on here and asking me questions. Also, I really mess with it because, like I said, I feel like majority of the time we always have, different views. Like even today, like I don't really feel like, it was nothing that we just talked about. We was just like, yeah, dang, that's completely different from what I said or what he said, But as far as like the PWI and HBCU, that was definitely a different experience for like both of us. But I feel like at the end of the day, we still got the job done, still got that piece of paper. So at the end of the day,
shout out to it.
Yes sir, big pat on the back. Yeah, but nah, it was cool though. Like I say, people get on here all the time and they'll go on like ask questions or whatever, even if it's not the same question, even if it's something that I wasn't really expecting, and not just be, all I can do is answer.
And I appreciate you for having me on your show today.
Oh yeah, most def. So you got something else you want to tell the people before we wrap it up?
Nah, that's pretty much it. I feel like we touched every key point we needed to today.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, this was a big mix up. We talked about a lot of different things. So, take it how you want to take it. But
and we got a little subject on certain things. We're giving it to you raw.
Yeah.
So, when you have a conversation about it, you don't tend to stay on the same subject.
Real organic, like, just straight natural. I probably might not even edit this video at all. But yeah, man, we're going to wrap it up. Tune back in next week. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Peace.